Welcome to another episode of AI versus powered by SIKE. In this episode, we dive into how you can use SIKE Dreams to create consistent content, which might be for storytelling, training manuals, and guides, or anything else that needs to refer to some history. Here we have a SIKE dream with a few notes in it. The About note tells us that we're writing a fictional depiction of the aftermath of the global financial crisis. Then we have a style note which we can open up and see various elements about the characters, topics, and more. Having a single place to reference this will help us keep style consistency and also save us from having to place it in each query if we were using normal chat threads. Next up, we have a set of instructions for how to write Chapter 1 and what we want as the elements of this, from setting the context to building up tension, suspense, and even a cliffhanger. It's all about the hook. Now that the notes are ready, we can write our overall query, and with SIKE, you can just refer to the notes you've created and their titles to make it easier. Now we can see it writing out Chapter 1, which will speed up. We can see the finished product here, and what we'll do is copy this into its own note so we can continue with the story. We'll give it a name so we can refer to this note when writing Chapter 2. Here are the Chapter 2 instructions. This time it advanced the plot further and ends on a pivotal moment. Now we write our new query to write Chapter 2, and similar to the first, all we need to do is to tell it to remember the About and Style sections, but we also add in that it should refer to the previous chapter output we just did. Running this query gets SIKE started on writing out Chapter 2, which again will speed up. And here's the finished product. Another way to tackle this is via an instructions note. Inside, you can see a list of step-by-step instructions we want to run. First up, we tell it to adhere to the About and Style notes. Then we have some rules for what it needs to do when writing a chapter per the user prompt, and by following the chapter instructions. We also tell it what to do if ingredients are missing, like when we have no chapter output note, for example. Having a setup like this means our prompts are simpler. Let's give it a test on writing Chapter 5, even though we have no previous chapter outputs. Great! It tells the user there is no output Chapter 4, so it certainly can't do number 5. Let's try Chapter 1. So we say write /Chapter 1 as per our instructions note. And here's the new chapter being written. We'll copy this into a new note and give it a name. Output Chapter 1. Then we can do the next instruction. Write /Chapter 2. And here you can see Chapter 2 output being created. It takes into account the instructions, which include being a continuation from the output of Chapter 1. Whilst we did this for storytelling, it has applications for so many other things like creating course outlines or product and user guides. Being able to split out the ingredients of your project recipe into referenceable notes like this also means it's much easier to manage than running things up and down a chat thread. Hope this helps you with keeping your AI content consistent. Stay tuned for another episode of AI versus powered by SIKE.